Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to yet another episode. 15 good minutes. Coach B here with the fellas. LB, how you doing, man?
Very well, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good to hear it. Freddie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. You?
Doing good, man. Good to see you guys. Um, it's funny because I kind of chose this topic because up until a little while ago, I thought LB was going to be a summer league. Turns out he's not going to be a summer league, but we're going to do this topic anyway because it's appropriate, right? The NBA draft was recently, and summer league has already started. What I call the warm-up phase, Utah, and then I want to say in a couple of days they moved to Las Vegas, where LB was going to go, but he's not going now. But we still have the same. I still have the same question, and so if you haven't had a chance, Cam Newton brought up a topic on his show the other day that suggested that it's not wise to, as a newbie, as an inbound rookie, as a draft selectee, to pick and choose or to say, I'm not going to go play for LB. I want to go play for Freddie. Or in this case, I don't want to go work out for Philly. I want to go to DC. And then ultimately you get picked to go to Utah. Don't show up on the first date. I think things are working out a little bit better now, but it's the thought process that I want to get you guys' opinion on. And specifically, we're talking about Ace Bailey from Rutgers, who willfully, neglected some opportunities to work out. Now, what I'm saying here before I turn it over to you guys, I'm not talking about things like where guys don't go to the combine, let's say in the NFL, but they do a workout at their school or whatever like that. I'm saying after you've gotten through that point and you're going to be, I'll say top 10, whatever. Mm-hmm. And these teams are calling you because, hey, want to come through, want to see you for a day working out. And you start saying no. So I'm all over the place with it. So I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. I'll start with you, LB. Is this much ado about nothing? Is this just the way things are right now? Is it entitlement or what the hell is it that causes someone to? And right now I'm kind of focusing on the NBA, but there's such a small percentage of people that make it. And I want to say, LB, of all the major sports, they have this. What 2 rounds?
Yeah.
We're talking about 60 people. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the situation with Ace, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, personally, I think everybody, if a team asks you or requests you come work out and they are a professional team in the league that you want to play in, I think you should go. My reason behind that is, I know in this particular case, I think, at least in this particular case, there were teams that he did not want to get picked by, that he wanted to play for, and all that kind of stuff. If you are projected to be a top 10 pick, whatever that number is, you have no idea where you're going to be picked. You have no idea what backroom deals are being talked about among the GMs and all other and team owners. While ESPN and Mel Kiper and all these people say, oh, he's going number 5 to Detroit, they could be completely wrong. And now you, by saying, no, I'm not going to work out for that team, or no, I'm not working out for that team, you may have just cost yourself a draft status, being picked at a higher level, or at the minimum, you may have just made some enemies for your career as your career goes on. Now, understand that everybody gets picked, everybody gets a salary. It's not what a contract number is predetermined. So you're not really negotiating anything when you come in. But when that contract is up, now you're a free agent. You have,
or you're looking to get that rookie extension, like say Carroll got this week. Yeah.
Right now, when your first contract is up, now you can be selective. Now the ball is in your court because you're a free agent. You can go say, nope, I don't want to play for you because of X. I want to go here and try and work out a deal with those people. But I think you should go to every workout that somebody requests you to attend.
I'm with that, Freddie. You and I have talked about this over the years. What are your thoughts on it, particularly as Cam pointed out? It's weird now. Cam's one of the older guys. I remember when he was playing at Auburn. Mm-hmm. but he's been through a process and he's got the benefit of wisdom now. Based on what he's saying, what is your opinion?
I think a lot of it is what you stated, all wrapped up into one big conundrum. I think a lot of it is now, first and foremost, these guys are coming into a professional sports league as millionaires. And they think that they have more leverage than they actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, young man, these guys that own these teams are billionaires. Most billionaires do not become billionaires by being stupid, right? They might be stupid, but they didn't become a billionaire by being stupid. I think I was reading something today in I can't remember if it said in the world or in the United States. I think it may have been the world, but there's 3,000 billionaires, right? 3,000 in the world of what, 8 billion people, whatever, 3,000, right? So it's a lot of things. I think you have the players thinking that they have more leverage than they actually do. I think a lot of it is things that they're trying to hide. For example, Ace Bailey, Rutgers had him listed at 6'10". When he got to the NBA combine or whatever, he shrunk, to like 6'7", right? I don't
Oh,
know if
wow.
that was with the hair or without the hair, or maybe he had on 4 or 5 pairs of socks. I don't really know what it is, but maybe it was, humidity that day or something. I don't know, but he shrunk. And so I look at it, to where I don't think it helps you. Now, for example, in the NFL, Cam Ward, number 1 pick, went to Tennessee. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, if the Kansas City Chiefs invited him for a workout, would he should you actually go? Now you can go, you could go get some good Kansas City barbecue or whatever, link up with Pat Mahomes, get a jersey signed or whatever the case may be. But you're not going to, which is what Cam alluded to in his taping. He said, I knew there were certain teams I wasn't going to go to, so I just went and got a free meal. Right, like he said, it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to cost you anything. And as LB said, as your career progresses and you don't get that second contract with that team that drafted you, you could be making enemies to where this GM, we need this position or that position, and you could be a guy, they may have liked you, they may not have been able to draft you or what have you. So I think it's one of those things to where it's a slippery slope when you do that. You absolutely have the right to not want to go work out for a team.
Mm-hmm.
Just be prepared for the
There
consequences
you go.
that comes down the line. And I think a lot of these young players, they're not really looking at the big picture. They think that they're going to go on and make billions, millions of dollars playing, 20 years or what have you. But there's a very small few that actually get to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Charles, welcome. How you doing, buddy?
Wonderfully excellent.
Good to see you, man. We're talking about this recent thing with the NBA draft and Ace Bailey, vocally saying who he would not go to work out for as he tried to position himself to get taken 6th by the Wizards. Utah had the 5th pick and said, "Well, I'm going to take you now," and that kind of threw a little, monkey wrench into the situation for him. So the question that I'm talking about today is, what's happened? How do we get here, right? Where someone who 3 months ago was playing college basketball can be so demanding in an area or a sport that has such a very, very small percentage of pro players. What do you see with that?
Well, not even only this sport, but think about it. This is not nothing new. Elway, Eli, both of them did that, right? They didn't want to go to the prospective teams.
I think the difference, though, there is with Elway, for example. Elway had a really good offer from the New York Yankees, and he said, "I'll do one or the other." And I honestly think he would have. And in the NFL back then, at least, with some people, they would make you sit out that year. And those are things that don't happen anymore. But to your point, Eli, did what he did.
I'm just saying this is something that started a long time ago, right? And now but going to a professional team, I mean, it's a job interview. That's what it is, right? And you should, if a team is interested in you, you should at least go and do the interview. That's my opinion, and I think all of y'all brought up some really good points, right? You don't know. It's the next level, right? Anybody that get drafted, right? They ain't no surefire hit. So it's the next level, right? So what about you? And it may not work out with that team, but you interview with another team and they like you, right? You could go to that other team, or that other team may still be interested in you to bring you up and say, hey, look at this. You may not have worked out there, but we can get you to work out here. Only because you went and took the interview, right? But as you guys have pointed out, players now are prima donnas. They think they more than what they think they're more talented, right? They hadn't even played it down at the next level, right? And it's totally different. I knew this kid played high school basketball. I can't think of his name right now, but oh my God, the guy could shoot the lights out on you, right? He went to the next level, right? He was not that good because it's a different level.
Competition.
Well, it's a different level of competition,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you don't really know how you're going to be at the next level, right? Because simple fact is that you never played there. So I'm a proponent of, hey, if a team is interested in you, at least go do the interview.
Yeah, I think that's true too. I wonder, and I might be putting more into it than need be, Charles. I just think that some of this is systemic. I think I if there's a blame to be had here, I tend to blame parents. I think there has to be a certain level of humility. I mean, to be chosen to just be in the conversation, to get the invite. I don't understand the lack of humility. I look at somebody like, say, not Ben Carroll. What's the kid that got drafted, went to Oklahoma and ended up playing in Detroit? Freddie. He's now
NBA?
yes. Came out of Oklahoma. His name escapes me right now, and he just recently got a fat deal as well. And I think it's because he did what LB talked about when he went to Detroit. When I tell you that they were god awful,
You talking about Kate Cunningham?
yes, thank you, Cunningham.
He went to Kansas.
Okay. Did he go to Kansas?
Yeah, he went to Kansas. No.
Okay.
No.
Was it
He wasn't in
Kansas?
Kansas. Nah.
I think it was Kansas.
It was either Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. I'll get it right.
I think you're right. It might have been Oklahoma State. Yeah.
But he got drafted by the lowly Pistons. And if you get an opportunity to watch him on draft day, kind of going back to your point, LB, dude's in tears. You know, the fact that he was chosen and he was just so grateful, and everybody knew he was going to an abyss. This year, Detroit was good. Mm-hmm. This year, he got rewarded. And kind of to LB's point, to me, that the rookie contract is your chance to prove your worth.
Yep.
Because first of all, there's a small percentage of people that get selected, and an even smaller percentage that make it to the next contract, which is the big contract. Freddie talks about that all the time. So why not come in, do your thing? And now, and Banchero just got an extension either yesterday or today. Is recent, right? You know what I mean? So Oklahoma State, thank you. So I don't understand this at all. I do applaud Utah, because it's got to be kind of like a risk, like it was with the what was your favorite quarterback, Freddie? You pick him every year in the draft.
Phil Rivers.
And my man in New Orleans. That whole situation in the NFL was, you know what I mean? It's similar to that. And I don't know, man. I'm looking at, and I'm not attacking Bailey. I don't know Bailey. I'm just wondering, when we cumulatively, if you look at what we talked about before, with entitlement and these expectations, what's the mindset of a kid who really is still a kid coming out and saying, I'm not going to go work out for the Philadelphia 76ers? what the hell is wrong with you? But you prefer to come here to the Wizards. I mean, come on,
that was news to me. When you said that earlier, I was like, really? Why? I would like to know why. What about?
He said he wanted the Wizards because they have the greatest need for a wing of his caliber. So he saw the Wizards not as anything that is going to get him a ring, but he believes I will get playing time there. Kind of going back, yes, to Freddie's analogy of would you as a quarterback go to Kansas City for a workout if you know you're not going to get the job? So he was looking at that and probably, looking at how things shaped up on the board. He did not want to go third, and he didn't, right? Because then you're looking at the situation, Philadelphia's got some good guards. He thinks he's good enough to go play. Right. I just, it blew my mind that, he didn't go where he did not want to go to, but he ended up going somewhere else that he didn't want to go to and did not end up on one of the three teams.
Right.
And now, he's doing a little bit better. When he was supposed to report to Utah, he didn't. Then when he came, first game, he looked kind of slouchy. Second game, he did well, 18 points. He's starting to come around. There was this other thing too. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, where Utah tried to bring in a coach that they weren't going to pay. A friend of the family, the son of the dad, who's supposedly the agent. And oh, by the way, he's not licensed by the NBA to be an agent. There was a lot of that going on. The NBA said no, so Utah told the family, y'all can't come. You see what I'm saying when I say, it's systemic in the sense, who's in this young man's corner?
We're the adults in the room.
Thank you, right?
The adults in the room actually put him up to do it. You got to think
that's the scary part, though, isn't it?
Exactly. Right.
So look at it like this: these people, whether it be football players or basketball, we just talking about those. These are not smart people. I mean, they're not, right? They're not smart people.
But they have you can't tell me that smart people like agents haven't been in touch with them. I'm not smart in a lot of things, right? I can't put a new roof on, but I can call somebody to put the roof on. This is what I'm saying. At that level, should you not be expected to engage in someone that can help you get the most from your offer?
Look at it like this, right? And the way I look at the NBA, the NFL, those two particularly, when I view that as levels of education. When you get drafted, you're now obtaining an AA, right? Mm-hmm. When you get that second contract with the same team that drafted you, the big contract, now you have a bachelor's degree, right? When you now get that third contract with that team, you now have that master's degree, right? With the same team. Or
any other team.
Agents,
it has to be a big contract, because a lot of times you just go from team to team and you just getting additional credit. You're not improving, right? You just
taking the same class over and over.
Yeah,
and I got 3 bachelor's degrees. Well, you've been to 5 schools. You should have a bachelor's and 2
doctorates. You said doctorates,
right? And then once you get to the level of like a LeBron, I'm not saying points and accolades and all that stuff, and KD, then you are on that JD level, that doctorate's level. These guys, and you have to think about, this young man Ace, and a lot of these guys, they were in college for roughly 1.5, maybe 2 semesters. 1.5, 2 semesters. They didn't take any classes, and the agents that they have in their circle, it's not Drew Rosenhaus, it's not Buzz Cook, it's not those guys. You have a friend of a friend that I was with you since day one. I bought you your first pair of Jordans, back in '93. I'm team you, right? So I'm going to tell you everything that if LeBron can bring his boys on, why can't I? Right? But you have to get to that level.
I think
LB, is this? Go ahead.
Sorry, some of this is born out of the NIL for the NCAA. That's
a good point.
I think that's the root of our problem is when you start paying players, coming out of high school, to go to play at this school versus that school because they're gonna give me more money. You just told them they're entitled now. You just told them that they're special. So now they come to the pro. Well, hey, I could do that. I just did that for 4 years, raking over all these different colleges, going from college to college, getting more and more money. Why can't I do that here?
Do we see more of it? Because here's the thing. To your point, nil or whatever the other, what are they calling that other one now? Okay, where now the schools all have, I don't know what it was, 20 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Kids are going to be officially paid now on Goo-gobs and levels now.
Right.
Yeah. So does this heighten this problem, or am I just looking at a one-off here in Bailey's case?
I think it's going to continue. I think it's going to continue just because of the way people think now. Everybody's instant gratification. Everybody's great. The Uber driver now expects a tip when all he did was pull up and you hopped in his car and he's supposed to get a tip. He ain't did shit. You know what I mean? So I don't see it going away. I really don't see it going away. You got parents who don't know what the hell they doing raising kids.
Right.
It's a mess. It's a mess, and they ain't gonna get no better. So
let me say this before we check out. Let me see if the guys got something to say. I'm gonna start with you, Charles. How you doing, buddy? You got something to say today?
I don't. I'm just glad to be alive.
Hey, got you in there 2 weeks.
We're glad you're alive too, there, Charles.
Yeah, we are. Freddie, how about you, man? You got something to say today?
No, I'm good.
LB, what you got to say today, man?
I do have something to say.
Let's have it.
He'll make it quick. So my buddy Rodney was uptown here from Louisville. We were gonna go get something to eat for lunch. He said, "Man, let's stop in Blue Mass Golf Course. They have a pretty good, grill there. So we're stopping there and eat. We got 2 hamburgers, 2 orders of tater tots, and 2 drinks, Tito's and cranberry. $80 for the bill."
Hey, what kind of burger y'all have at a golf course?
Now, I know all these golf courses. I was on a text chain earlier today with the guys. They were talking about prices of courses. Everything has gone up, yada, yada, yada. $80.
Just for the meal?
For the meal. For 2 people, 2 drinks, order tater tots, 2 orders of tater tots, and 2 hamburgers. $80.
Was it good?
Golf course.
Was it good? Was it good?
It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Was it good?
It was good. But here's the deal. I go to Ruth Chris when I want a hamburger, I go to Ruth Chris for happy hour, and I get their happy hour hamburger. It's less. This golf course is charging $20 for the hamburger. I had no idea because they don't have the price. They just say hamburger. I'm like, oh, it's got to be $10, right? Max. $20. A Ruth Chris hamburger, I think on the regular menu is $18. On happy hour, I think it's either $16 or $15. So they are overpriced. They're priced higher than Ruth Chris for a hamburger. It was good, but it wasn't Ruth Chris good.
Or it wasn't $80 good. It don't have to be Ruth Chris good. To me, it's the cost. I mean, that's
right. It's crazy, man. It's a golf course, and people
burgers
wonder
and
why
tater tots $80.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. So that's why
it's just crazy.
All these golf courses, they sticking you every way they can, and I understand we're capitalist society. Let's get as much money as we can. But you know what they won't get? $80 from me again.
Well said. Well said. I got something to say. It's probably a pet peeve. I watch a lot of tennis right now. We're in week 2 of Wimbledon. So this isn't Wimbledon specific, but I'm getting tired of the players who take 4 or 5 balls at the first serve, look at them, and then hit them back to the ball boy, the ball girl. This is ridiculous. I want to say shout out to Serena Williams because for her entire career, she would put her hand up for one ball. Mm-hmm. 1, the mentality, I only need 1 to smoke your ass. Love that. But 2, she wants to play. I watched my now favorite player, Carlos Alcaraz, had 5 in his hand. Wow. And he's looking at him, and he doesn't just give them to the person in this corner. I hit 1 this way, 1 this way. I drop 1 behind me. Kids scattering because they got to get it and get back in there. Now, to be fair, it's not lengthening the game because, Charles, they're on a serve clock. It's just a dumb prank. What are you looking at for 2.5 seconds to make you say this brand new tennis ball is better than this brand new tennis ball? It's a tennis ball. And the more and more I watch, it didn't matter this week whether I'm watching ESPN or Tennis Network, watching them all. Some of them pretty cool. They can spin around one hand. Why don't you focus on getting your first serve in and stop taking 5 balls? The good news is they don't do it on the second serve.
Right.
They do it on the first. And it's a pet peeve. I wish I was a judge one day sitting in the chair at Wimbledon. I'm handing out fines and penalties left and right. Pick up the damn ball and hit it, please. That's my guys. So yeah, that's all we got time for. If you guys got a thought or a comment or two about the whole Ace Bailey situation and not necessarily holding out, but refusing to do a workout for a team, drop us a comment and just let us know. If LB is right, and I think he is, the future is not very bright in terms of the type of mentality and character and makeup of these players. And I wonder at what point does that impact the actual sport that they're going to play. So we'll keep an eye out for that. We hope you guys have a great weekend. As always, we thank you for rocking with the team. We'll see you guys next week. We're out.